who are out there looking for work. What he's trying to do is distract the American people in order to win his own re-election.
Now, them is fighting words. Congressman Peter Welch is a Democrat from Vermont and the Chief Deputy Whip. He joins us live from Capitol Hill. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you.
What is your reaction when you see Speaker Boehner clearly frustrated, say that President Obama doesn't give a damn about the middle class?
Well, it kind of reminds me about the Romney campaign essentially whining about the desire to have him show his tax returns. I mean, there's a very important issue for the American people. It's about what our tax policy is going to be and how we're going to bring down our debt. And that is where this question of whether you have tax cuts expire above $250,000, as the president advocates, as Democrats support, or you extend them for everybody. And the reason why that's so important on the debt is that if you do what Mr. Boehner is suggesting, it's going to cost us, when you add in the interest cost on this, about $1.2 trillion addition to the debt without it benefiting the economy. So there's a fundamental issue here. Americans support tax for middle-class folks. They're working hard, making less, hanging on by their fingernails, but they know that the folks who are really doing well will get a tax cut of $10,000 or more on that first $250,000. But above that, you know, that's going to help us pay down our debt.
Yeah, it certainly is a clash of priorities between the Democrats and Republicans. You're quoted today in a New York Times front page story saying this issue comes down to leverage being on the side of Democrats and that your party can't blink. Explain what you mean by that, not blink statement there.
Well, this is legislative tactics. I mean, bottom line, we want to preserve tax cuts for middle-income folks. We want them to expire at the high end. In the legislature, the power of no tends to be the most dominant power, unfortunately. Mitch McConnell had it in December 2010. The president wanted to avoid a shutdown. The deal McConnell got by saying no was that he got the tax cuts, $800 billion extended for the high end, and we got $13 billion in extended unemployment benefits. Now the leverage has shifted. If the Democrats do nothing, if we just say no to the bluster of John Boehner and others, then the Bush tax cuts are going to all expire come January 1. That's with us doing nothing. So we come back on January 2 and we put a tax cut bill on the table that provides tax relief for 90% of Americans or more, right up to $250,000. Most of us are going to want to vote for that, including Republicans.
Yeah, well, another tricky Dick is back here, not Nixon, but former Vice President Dick Cheney, who made the rounds on Capitol Hill Tuesday, urging members to push for more defense spending and fight against the automatic cuts in place in a bipartisan agreement made last summer. Are Republicans really taking their marching orders from the man who says deficits don't matter?
You know, he had quite a following here, but it's really quite bizarre. We passed today the Defense Sequester Transparency Act, and what that did was tell the Office of Management and Budget to tell us what would happen if the sequester went into effect. Now, think about it. Congress passed this sequester for half defense and half domestic discretionary bills last August, and now we're asking, what did we do? Why did we do it? What will happen if what we directed be done is done? So this is, again, Congress at its most feckless. I mean, we've just got to make some basic decisions to get our economy going and to get our tax policy righted. That means we have to put everything on the table. It has to be some entitlement reform, domestic discretionary, the Pentagon has to help, but we must have revenues as part of that package.
Right. Feckless, spineless, and some people say visionless, but we thank God that there is an alternative vision being promoted there. Congressman Peter Welch from Vermont, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Stay with us. The day